with that kind of plan there, you might actually be not paying anything, right? Because if you factor in how much you're paying the electrical company.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. I am back in this beautiful community of Puerto Real. If you haven't seen that video yet, it is the biggest houses, the most beautiful neighborhood in the whole city. We gave you a whole tour of it, including the private school. So the reason I'm down here is one of our subscribers, his family owns one of the oldest electrical companies here in, well, the whole country, to be honest, over 100 years old. And he had saw our videos and saw that we had problems with our Monte Rosa house, the last house we were in, where we had lots of nightmare problems, lots of videos on that too. But he sent electricians over, no cost to us, to help diagnose the problems and try to figure out why our electrical bill was through the roof, that kind of thing. And so we've always had this contact with him, and we said, listen, one of these days when you get a really cool solar project, let us come and film it, and then also you can tell us and tell our viewers, you know, what to expect, what kind of things are available, what kind of costs are available, is there any financing, all that cool stuff. And so what a great opportunity, because this house is special because the guy has he's adding more to his already existing system, so that he will actually, with a massive house and fully using everything, he is going to have a negative bill. So he's going to get paid for his electricity, and yet he can run all his air conditioning, he can run everything 24 hours a day. So here we go, we're gonna go and show you it all and walk everybody through it, and let's meet Marcel. There's a bit of noise over here because there's a house being built right beside it, but we'll talk loud, no problem. So as you can see, these guys are very professional. They are always wearing, they got hard hats on, they got their orange shirts all matching, and this is Marcel.
Orange safety shoes.
And, oh yeah, and safety shoes. Oh, is that what the orange stripe means?
Oh, it's just for
for you guys.
Purposes.
Oh, brand name. Let's go in the shade. Let's get you in the shade.
Sure.
You're just gonna get too hot, or do you have to really stay around them?
We need our sunlight 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day. I think you don't look like you ever get any sun, to be honest. You work in an office too much, don't you?
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get 10 minutes a day.
So your business has been around for over 100 years, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so
then we innovated into solar, which hasn't been around that long.
No.
Yeah.
But now you're one of the leaders in solar. Like, you're doing huge projects.
Yeah, we've actually hit about almost 2 megawatts in about 3 years.
Wow.
Just on rooftops.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And right now you're doing, do you do any solar farms or anything?
Right now we're in development of about 2 solar farms. So.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So now a lot of our viewers, when they want to come here and they want to build, this is their number one thing they're thinking of, is they want to put solar in right from the get-go. They want to deal with any issues with the electricity. And also some of them, many of them, would like to not pay a bill ever.
Yes.
And just not be reliant on the system.
Yes, that's very possible, right? With especially with the new net metering rules, which basically allows consumers that have oversized solar systems to actually sell power to the grid. And you can be basically a prosumer, which is a producing consumer.
Right.
So yeah, you're slowly selling it on a month-to-month basis, and you can actually achieve a negative bill. So what happens when you get the negative bill is that the negative portion gets credited to a future bill. So it's like saving up for, you know, a time that you're going to be spending a bit more on energy. Yeah, so we're actually setting up everything here. We're setting up a panel lift because it's quite a high house. So panel lift basically transports all the panels automatically from the ground to the roof.
Oh wow!
Without having to like lift it with people. So it protects the panels, and it also automates and speeds up your entire process.
And also protects your guys because they're not climbing bamboo. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
it's
incredible.
A lot better.
Yeah, I did notice that about your company right from the get-go. How much more professional, much more modernized type of procedures that you use. Plus they're super professional guys. Really was impressed with them.
If you can see this house, it's a bit high actually for a 2-story house. That's why we're opting for the panel lift.
Yeah, that's about the biggest, tallest 2-story house I've ever seen. And so this house, this is not their first installation?
This house, yes, they had a previous one a few years back. and then we're adding on additional capacity.
What's the end goal here? Are they going to have a bill anymore?
Yeah, they're still covering their daytime use. So after they basically cancel their daytime use, which includes running air cons and stuff during the day, they're gonna apply with the power company for net metering, and then after that, we can add up additional capacity so that we can get to a zero bill.
Okay, so essentially what that means though is they still have to. They don't have batteries.
No. We never suggest batteries because, unlike in the U.S. and in Europe, where there's a subsidy from the government, in the United States it's as high as 30%, actually.
Wow.
Subsidies. So it makes sense with that. But without the 30% subsidies, it's really expensive. And so unless you're having brownouts every day, or like, maybe 2-3 times a week, then I'd still recommend the genset, because a genset would basically be a lot more efficient and cheaper to run long term. Right.
And here in Iloilo, we have a much more stable than many parts in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Stable grid. As much as I complain sometimes, let's be honest, like it'll go several weeks, and then it might be a planned outage, which only is like an hour or something like that, or maybe 12 hours sometimes. But you know about it ahead of time. It's always on a Sunday, that kind of thing. And it'll be during the day. It won't be in the middle of the night. So I get it. It makes sense. We do have friends though that do have batteries, and they just like the fact that they just never need.
Yeah.
They just don't need anybody. If they absolutely had to, they could go without any grid.
We're actually looking to add on, to bring in batteries also, but we're also timing it because we like to give warranties long term.
Sure.
10 years, 20 years.
Yep.
Our panels are warranted up to 25 years.
Okay.
86% efficient. And so we want also to bring in batteries that are low cost, but at the same time,
reliable.
So
right.
Until, we don't like the fact some people use lead acid batteries.
Sure.
This will last 2 years, 3 years. Then when you actually compute the cost over a period of, like, let's say 10 years, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
A genset will still, again, make the most sense, especially for limited outages.
Now, if somebody is off-grid, like a friend of ours has an island,
Yeah.
right? And so in their case, there is no grid,
Yeah.
right? And so they do run genset every night.
In that situation, a battery definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
It's gonna be much cheaper to run a battery. Even a lithium-ion battery would be much cheaper to run than a genset. Fuel prices are really off the roof. Are we at already 70 plus? Or 70 pesos per liter. So it's still kind of expensive.
Yes, it does.
So then for those situations, battery actually makes sense.
But currently your company's not providing them in those cases?
We're going to be bringing in this new technology because we don't like lithium. Because for one, there are two issues with lithium.
Yeah.
Lithium is number one. There are many rare earth minerals used for lithium. Well, the lithium itself, and then cobalt. Cobalt is mined in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
A lot is. Some in Australia too.
About 70 to 80% of the world's cobalt is mined there.
Right.
And so a lot of it uses slave labor. So we're actually looking to bring in this new technology called sodium ion.
Okay.
Which uses sodium as its a key element for the batteries.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I know there's a lot of talk. Even Tesla's trying to get out of all that stuff too.
Yes.
And nobody wants to have your name associated with cobalt.
Exactly.
Yeah. A 3 kilowatt hour system on their house, and say they don't have a crazy high roof like this. I don't know if that affects the price, but what are we talking for that?
For a 3 kilowatt system, our base price for a 3 kilowatt system right now is around 200,000 pesos.
Okay.
But we can of course offer extended discount to anybody who's watching the video.
There you go.
We'll give a 15,000 peso discount off of that for any outright purchase. But we also offer staggered payments, right? So we have a 10-year plan which offers you about 2,700 pesos a month. You pay flat rate for the next 10 years, and then after 10 years the system turns over to you. We also offer a 5-year plan. Our 5-year plan is around 4,500 per month, and then we have a 2-year plan which is around between 7,000 to 8,000 pesos a month.
So technically, with that kind of plan there, you might actually be not paying anything, right? Because if you factor in how much you're paying the electrical company,
yes,
and the savings, you're just basically giving, instead of giving it to the, you know, whatever electrical company you're with, you're giving it to them. And then after it's paid off, it's yours.
And actually, if you look at their 10-year plan, our 10-year plan will turn into the equivalent of about 7 pesos, 750 pesos per kilowatt hour. So if you look at the current rates you're paying for power, it's about, in the city, it's about 10.20, 10.50.
Yeah.
You actually have a margin of saving on top of what you're paying.
Wow. Yeah. Like 30–40%.
Yeah.
That's incredible. All right. Wow. There's actually no excuse then, really.
Yeah.
To not get solar. He's making it really easy by doing the financing option. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful house.
Yeah.
It's got a pool table. Okay. I don't know how much I'm allowed to show and how much he wants to be, but
well,
I'm looking
like
at
the exterior. Right
okay.
Here,
Yeah. Here's the exterior, and if you look in the shadowed area, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. We were just here. We were just at the school here, Santa Clarita, and we were showing the neighborhood off and everything. They gave us a tour of the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't go to school there, did you?
No,
oh, no.
I went to Westbridge.
You're not that young, actually.
Yeah.
Westbridge, where's that?
That's in Magsaysay. That's it's an old boys school. Yeah.
Oh, an old boys school. Another friend of ours recently said, listen, can you do a vlog actually at an all boys school? And it's interesting how they raise these young boys and stuff like that, and teaching respect and everything. You must have a lot of respect for
lots of sports.
Sports and respect, you know. Apparently it's very valuable for especially because a lot of people hear of the all girls school, but not many hear about all boys school.
Yeah, actually there's no all girls school yet in Iloilo anymore. There used to be Assumption, but then they made it
is it co-ed now?
It's co-ed already. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Okay, because I was going to say right across from San Augustine, but no.
Their Westbridge's counterpart is actually putting up an all-girls school, so
okay, maybe
we'll
that's
get it in the future.
I think I heard that recently, actually, too. All right, so how long does the whole process take from the time of order to it actually being on the roof?
So if it's an outright purchase, it's quite fast, because basically we don't have any requirements. For the planned purchases, we of course require a bit of, you know, we need a land title, we need certain documents, also to establish, you know, the ability to pay the bill.
Okay.
So we need an electric bill, maybe like a proof of like income. So it can be from your employer. It could be bank statement. It's up to you, whichever you prefer.
Exactly.
So, but basically, if a customer has everything on hand, we could install in 2-3 days immediately, because we stock about 600 kilowatts worth of solar panels.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we could actually install it for a building tomorrow if they came up with all their equipment.
That's really fast and incredible.
Yeah.
No wonder you're doing so well. All right, so there you go, guys. Really, there is no excuse if you want to plan there. And unlike, this is going to be for the Westerners, unlike in the West, there is no credit check system here. They have to manually do everything. They don't just run a credit report with your number. That doesn't exist here. And so, like you were saying, you show them the bank statement, show proof of income, those kind of things, and then they have to do it on their own. They basically have to put some trust into the system. They don't have the national credit check system.
That would
or
have
anything.
been really helpful, actually.
Yeah. Although even that system doesn't tell you about any private loans and, you know, anything else. It just tells you how they did, like up to last year, and, you know, that kind of thing. So maybe yours might actually even be better, because we kind of rely on it too much. And meanwhile, something could have changed the last month or two with their income and all that, and we wouldn't know that just running a credit report. So it depends. Plus, I think the banks just have too much power, so I actually don't like that too much. You know, it gets a little crazy, and then
I think that's one thing that we simplify for our customers, is that they don't need to go to another person, bank or anything. It's all one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So we do everything for them. Even the application for net metering, we actually do it for them.
Oh wow.
So we get them to sign. Well, we give them an option. They can sign an SPA, giving us authority to process it for them, or we can prepare all the documents and then give it to them to bring to the utility. So we try to simplify that process.
How hard's that process here in Iloilo City? Like,
it takes about 1 to 2 months to get everything done. So it's really getting, again, it's all the documents again that we need. Like, you know, there are certain documents that some customers don't have. Like, let's say your occupancy permits You should always hold on to those.
So just so people understand, net metering means that you can run your meter backwards.
Yeah, you're basically you become a supplier to the power company. So
Right.
it's really a good empowering tool for you know, consumers, and especially because of, you know, power. The thing is with net metering, it's like it works like this. You get a rebate on the generation charge. The generation charge is basically the amount that the power company is buying from their suppliers, the energy that they're selling to you. So of course it's not the entire bill. The 1050 gets rebate. You get about 620 pesos rebate from your power company. Now the power company also actually earns from this quite well, because
Yeah, they're still getting the distribution.
they're getting power immediately in their
They get out of
distribution
sun.
lines, which actually saves them money, because then they don't have to pay transmission charges.
Okay.
And the transmission charges can be 1 to 2 pesos per kilowatt hour.
All right. So what's the biggest part of the bill?
So the biggest part of the bill is the generation charge. That's
Okay.
about 40
Oh.
to 50% of the bill.
All right. Well, then what's the other 60?
The taxes, distribution charges. Yeah, there's
Okay.
still another 12% for VAT, of course.
All right.
Yeah.
So is it still possible to get a negative bill though?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
We just have to size your system properly and get it.
Right. And do you only do roof installs, or can you get it, like if you have a large a piece of land, you can have?
Yeah, we can do roofs, we can do land, we can actually create parking structures if you want to create parking like sheds for your cars, with panels and all.
Yeah, I've seen that at a couple of restaurants where they just did their whole parking garage,
Yeah.
and it's just a flat roof,
Yeah.
so that everybody could park in the shade, and at the same time it powers their entire restaurant.
Yeah.
So that's
The
that's
roof
really
though is
cool.
still the best, because it's the quickest install. Like there's hardly any preparation or prep time needed. While for land, you need to do a little prep for it, not do a little testing of the soil, make sure it's firm, and then
Concrete
there's no
footings,
landslide.
blah 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 blah.
It's,
Yeah.
I don't know, you don't need concrete. You can actually just you bury
Really?
a 10-foot long. It's a 10-foot long like pole type structure, and then it just goes under into the ground. Yeah, it's the same thing we use for solar farms basically.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And do they get damaged very easily with the bad weather, like typhoons, that kind of thing?
So like a railing system, you want to see the railing. This is part of our railing system. This is the railing system that will be where your panels will hook up onto. It's rated up to signal number 5, so 250 kilometer per hour winds.
Oh,
So I think your roof will fly before our panels.
right. Of course.
Yeah. We've had several typhoons already, and I think over the course of the 3 years, we've deployed around 3,000 panels, or a little bit over 3,000, and we've never had an issue with typhoons.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah. Well, the typhoons here aren't as severe as like the east side of the country too.
We've had pretty bad ones also.
Really?
Yeah, because what we have here are sudden gusts of wind
Okay.
that come in, and then those sudden gusts can be a bit damaging. Yeah.
All right, that's fair. It's fair. I just don't see the same destruction that I see
Yeah.
on the east side where buildings are gone.
Yeah.
right? Like that doesn't really happen here.
Plus, a lot of people here, I think, build strong houses also. It's
true.
It's part of our. I think we're quite ready here.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. All right, well, fantastic. So PA Energy, I'm going to put the links, guys.
Yeah.
Is there one more?
Yeah, we can show you again
Oh.
later on, like when it starts. We can actually walk you through the individual materials if you want. Because a lot of people get questions actually where we connect our railings to or the panels to, because they have like a misconception that you're just gonna attach it to the roof, so you need a really strong roof.
Oh,
So you don't actually need that, because the railings will attach to this thing called an L-foot. I'll show you one.
so what's
So yeah, this is the only thing that gets attached to your roof. It's called an L-foot. It's called L-feet. So basically, this screw goes into your roof. You stick it in there, and then this is where we attach our railings to. The railings are what attach to the panels.
and you were saying that this screw, you already have an existing one, so
Yeah.
you're only replacing what's already there,
Yes.
so you're not making new holes.
We pull out the old one, we stick this new one in. You see it has a cap here, but aside from that cap, we put additional sealant on top to make sure that there's no leaks
Yeah,
at all. So it's actually safer than probably your old setup.
sure, and it
Yeah.
even has a washer on the bottom here, I
Yeah.
see.
So like this is how it attaches. So that's where your that's where the L foot attaches to on this railing. So you have several L feet along the railing depending on the roof span and how far apart your holes are. Your panels will then go onto this. So it's not very intrusive. And then this whole railing system is rated up to signal number 5 or 250 kilometers per hour wind.
While that's going on outside, they have the inverter being wired in right now. Oh, hello. Oh, it's a little corgi. Hello. It's gonna sniff you first. Make sure you're all good.
Yep.
Hello, buddy.
Hello.
What can you tell us about the inverter?
So basically, this is a Solis 3 kilowatt inverter. It's, as you can see, this is the older inverter. They had a 4G series. That's one of the older ones. We're now with this new one. It's called the S6. It basically allows us also to read the power consumption from the power utility real time. So we can give you really how much you're, what's the difference, you know, how much you're getting from the power company and how much you're actually getting from your solar. In the past, with the older inverters, we also used to use this 4G, but then we switched to this new one because of the new technology that they added in, especially the metering. I mean, it's super useful to understand how much you're actually paying the power company. So yeah, basically that's one of the new features. And as you can see, look at the old one, the new one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's much smaller, but it does more.
I think this is a 5 kilowatt though inverter.
Okay.
Yeah. We usually warrant it about 6 years for the inverter, but the lifespan is like 10 to 15.
Okay.
So it's quite good. And then you can see these parts under. These are all the wires that are gonna feed into your power supply. So that's gonna be hooked up to the close Raymond Gapo,
Oh, sir.
and then we're gonna wire this thing,
City.
the CT, out the Raymond Gapo, So yes, inside here to to monitor the power consumption.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's got the added benefit that you can always check on the power company if they're ripping you off or not.
Yeah, it's like a double meter.
Right.
And
so,
the
or
thing
not just
is,
the power company. Somebody could be stealing.
Yeah, compared to the power company that only reads it once a month, this will give you a reading every 5 minutes.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, so here is the app that you have, and you can see how much is being generated, total, everything.
That's on the left. That's how much you're getting from solar. This is how much you're getting from the grid. So you're getting 4.23 kilowatts from the solar and 7.6 kilowatts from it. This is a
0.76.
yeah, 0.76. So that's this is a 5 kilowatt customer. Yeah. So,
Wow, that's fantastic. And the good thing about the financing part is that when you're on financing, you have access to the same data they have access to.
So they have a companion app that they can also check.
Right.
I just have like the master app that can check everybody's data. So
Right.
like, all our customers, we monitor them. They have actually screens in our office to monitor all the customers real time. And then if there's any alert or issues, the inverter actually messages us, and then we go out to check on it. Or like we can actually call the house to like, okay, reset the breaker, do this, and then we try to do some initial fixes with them. And if they can't do it, we send someone out to check on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's true on everything, not just computers. Have you tried turning the power off and turning it back on?
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally the answer.
Sometimes it's the answer to everything, really. So that's always the first check we do with them. And then sometimes it's just, they were disconnected from the Wi-Fi, and then so you have to reconnect it to the Wi-Fi.
Right, okay.
Those are some of the issues.
Which doesn't affect your system, it just affects the tracking.
Yeah,
of the
that's
system.
all it just affects. But then the system is still operating. You can actually check on the inverter itself. The inverter itself will tell you right there if there's an alarm or no alarm.
Oh,
If
okay.
there's no alarm, everything's working well. Yeah.
Look at that. Good
Yeah.
deal.
What else do we have? Oh, yeah, we can talk about maintenance also. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Later or now?
Oh, we can do it now, yeah.
Why not? You're here. Let me make sure you're good. All right, go.
Yeah. So then we also add maintenance to our packages, right? Because what we've noticed with a lot of solar producers here is that once they install it on your roof, you can't find them again ever if there's an issue. So of course we're trying to change that, and we're definitely not fly by night, having been here in the city for 100 years already operating, right? So what we do with it is we basically for our 10-year plan or 5-year plans, we also do cleaning of the panels once a year, and then we go further and above that by doing thermal scanning of your actual wires and breakers to make sure your internal breakers for your house are all working, because if there's an issue there, it can affect the panels, it'll affect your house, you can have an outage. So we check all those things, and if there are any issues, we tell the homeowner, you have this issue. A thermal scanner basically reads hotspots on your breaker. So if there's like a certain area that's like excessively hot compared to the others, there could be a potential, fire hazard or actually trouble for that.
Yeah, some kind of short or something. So these panels you said are
505 watts.
Oh, 505 watts.
Per panel.
So if you had panels that were 250 or 300 watt, that means you had to have almost twice as many panels as compared to today.
So this takes up a lot less space also because newer technology, it's more efficient, and also they managed to fit more solar cells on the panel itself. I think if you could see before, you get more white, wider like ring
the
sides.
trim and everything. Yeah.
This is just a bit dirt. After we finish setting it up, we just clean it. They're very sturdy panels. If you look actually here, it's only 40 pounds, so it's actually really easy to lift. You have all your connectors in the back, and then each panel from China Solar comes with a QR code, so that for the warranties and everything. So all the data is back here. You get all the information with the QR code. It helps us track the warranties because it's very long-term warranties. Yeah, about 25 years. And these are very sturdy.
Yep.
You can walk on them actually.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
let's not do that today.
Yeah.
So I wanted to point out though, you're not just in Iloilo City.
Yeah, we're actually doing builds in Batangas. We have in Dumaguete. We have Bacolod. So anywhere in the Philippines, really, we can do a build.
Fantastic. So this is the lift. This is how they make it easy and they don't damage the panels going up. Yeah. Although they look pretty rigid, I think it'd be difficult to damage, to be honest. But yeah, no climbing bamboo to get it up there.
So basically, you can notice there are less panels in the system. Our system compared to the old one, because we're using much larger panels, as mentioned earlier, 505 watts per panel. So like, if you can see their 5 kilowatt system before, they have like something like 15 panels. Like our 5 kilowatt system uses about 11 only. So, and you can see with our 3 kilowatt system here, we're only using about 6 panels. So a lot less panels to put up on the roof. It means a faster job, less wires. It's just less material. So all in all,
and you can get more out of a roof space if you have a smaller roof.
Yeah, that's correct as well. You can see just what a big difference. That's the thing. The only difference between these two systems is about 2 kilowatts.
This neighborhood, like we said in the last one, there's plenty of lots here. Yes, they are pricey, but you get what you pay for. I've been contacted already by some of the people who live here, and they have many lots available, and it's a little lower. I thought it was 25,000 pesos, 22,000 pesos. So if you want that contact, if you write me, I will just put you on to them. I'm not a sales agent or anything like that, but I'll share the link. So code is PAE
TPLB.
TPLB 2023. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen.
At 29 and I find myself wondering, what did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again.